And these are all people that suggest that I might want to. And where do they get the suggestions from? My Gmail. Okay. Or you can find your friends you can rifle through your Yahoo email or your Hotmail email, or you can upload an address book. I've never done that, but you can download your address book from Outlook and upload them to here. So it's easy to find people. In fact, it's too easy to find people. So you asked about the stream. That's the stream of people. It's always a stream of people and the things that they're doing. This is the big stream here of all things. Let me see if I can find. I've got a few more items here. Here's one that I haven't populated yet. My only person in my stream is Lauren Souders. She's one of my students. I've gotten her okay to use this. She's the only one in my English 100 class who's in my Google stream, but I will have all of my students in that stream eventually. So that when I want to share something with them, all I do is click on that. I could share pictures, videos, links, or anything I want up here. And they all go to the people in that circle. And only the people in that circle. Okay?
And you set up your streams yourself.
Mm-hmm. You can create circles. Any circles that you want. I've got one for research tips, productivity, the Western Kentucky University Writing Project. This is a project I'm working on with a group in Texas. It's called ourschool.org. And that's one of the conferences I had on here in Google+, that in a Hangout. We just got together one morning, and they're pushing this kind of independent school organization where people join, offer to teach classes, and they're kind of a broker. And they spin it out. They provide a place for people to offer to teach courses and to take courses. It can be free or pay, and I'm trying to develop this for Bowling Green.
Okay, that's a stupid question.
No.
Under stream, those are all your circles.
Mm-hmm. And you can create as many as you want.
Okay.
Okay. So there's streams. I'm just going to go back to the main stream there. All right, what else do you see that you want to take a look at? Yes, sir.
I heard about Sparks.
Yes.
And my girlfriend was the one that got me in the Google Plus, very briefly.
Okay.
And she said about Sparks is a good thing that you can, if you want to get your news from Google Plus, it connects to
Yes.
terms.
You can either choose the ones they give you here, and I can see where, if you're interested in those items, fine. But if you want to choose something else, just say, I don't know, anybody have something they're interested in that they... Art. So what it does is it takes from Google News. It pulls this out. To me, this is undeveloped. This is not really... It's interesting. You can find a lot of stuff in here. But what I want to be able to do is put what's called an RSS feed in there, a very specific source for news in these Sparks. And I haven't found a way yet to do that. But if you want to use art, put art in your Sparks, all you do is click Add Interest. And there it is. So anytime you go to your Google Plus, you can just look through there as a way to spark your interest. Not quite ready for prime time yet, but it's getting there. There's Google Chat, which was a pretty well-developed product in Gmail. And they've simply moved it over to here. And you can find people on here online. Here's my wife. I think she's online right now. No, she's not. She's not available right now. But these people are. You can also set up the video for that inside here, although I've never done it. What else do you see? Anything? Let me go back to this. Let me go back to the home. What else do you see? I'd rather respond to your questions first before I open up other stuff.
Suggestions, just people that would have similar interests.
Right. Yeah. Not sure what kind of algorithm they run to do that. Eli Pariser's written a book called The Filter Bubble that's a little bit scary. What he did was looked at, his example in his book is he looks at a friend of his who searches in Google for Egypt. And he pulls down all this stuff on Egypt that is related to the revolution and all the things that happened in Egypt to get rid of Mubarak. And then another one of his friends, same thing, same search term, pulls it down, and what does he get? Like vacation sites and cool things to do in Egypt. Now, that's a little bit of a pause because Google takes your preferences and looks at them and decides, oh, you're interested in this, you're interested in this. So your searches are being filtered all the time. And if you're an academic researcher, that should give you great pause. And and the thing is that Google has become so much the default search engine that I think Microsoft is considering doing away with Bing.
Already.
Yeah, it's just, and the image search in Bing is superior, really good. On Yahoo, does anybody use Yahoo search anymore? Yeah, probably should. You know, there are always new search engines. There's one called Surf Canyon that I think is a really interesting new search engine that you might want to look at. But we need to begin to find what Google is doing to us and tell them, stop, or let me be in charge of it.
You know, I wondered what was going on because sometimes I just don't feel like some of the broad things that I search have been coming up recently.
Yeah. I'm not sure if they use the same algorithms when you use Google Scholar or books. I don't think they do. So my common sense would indicate, but I don't know. I really don't. Yes, ma'am.
In a circle, do people know who else is also in that same circle?
Yes, they do. And the thing is that, you know, there's let me go inside of here's an acquaintances circle. I don't have this, I'm not really good at setting up the categories. You all are bound to be better than I
So
am.
people will know which category you put them.
Well, they'll know from their Google Plus which circles they're in, because you've invited them to the circle. You know, you can block. You don't have to be in.
The notification was like, you're in a circle.
You're in a circle.
I don't think it tells you you're in a circle, but I don't think
Does it tell you what?
I don't think it says the exact circle you're in. I think it just says you're in one event, but you're in so and so's circles.
Okay.
That's
Well,
right, 'cause if you have a jerk circle.
well, what happens is they tell you you don't have to accept being in their circle. In fact, when they do that, they'll send you their profile name. And what I do is I always click on the profile. If I don't know who they are, I click on the profile name and I go and look at their profile. If I don't know who they are, I just block them. It's very similar to Twitter and Facebook. There is some control there, but you know, that's probably one area that they should work on is knowing exactly which circle it is. Oh, this is really new. I mean, this is all, 3 months? It's been out 3 months. Yeah.
So you've used this with online students?
I've used it. I have not used it with my online students yet. I've used it professionally for work on projects of mine.
Okay. So I really was interested in, you know, how can I use this with my online students?
Mhm.
So I guess maybe if you could give us some examples of things you've done with your students that are in your face-to-face classes that might give us, or might give me some ideas of how.
Oh, well, I haven't used this My Plus with, it came out this summer and I really didn't set it up to use.
Okay.
What I'm beginning to set up is with my English 100 students. So first, I have to have them all have Gmail accounts. So that's what they're doing right now. They're fall freshman English students, 100 enhanced classes. They barely know which way to turn their heads. So it's right. So right now we're getting I'm gathering all those emails. Then the next thing will be, okay, here's Google Plus, and you're all in. I'm going to invite them all into the circle. Pull them all into that circle. And since they got Gmail accounts, it'll just be easy, because I'll put all of them on a distribution list on Gmail. And once I got that, then I can use it in as much as, I mean, you know, if you're already effectively using Blackboard as your tool for doing that, then you know, I mean, you don't have to use it this way. I just find it, I'm going to Google anyway. It's my place. That's what they want. I'm one of their ideal customers. And it's so easy. It's so carefully integrated. And it's, I mean, it's like Blackboard in that it can be a closed silo of sorts. So I'm not really there using it in the classroom. Now, I can show you, let me see if I can find, I was going to bring up, if you all used, I know Jane has used Prezi. Well, I'm going to show you a way to cheat with Prezi. Have any of you all used or seen Prezi before? It's a presentation tool. It's easy. Well, I think around here they call it hinky. It has its moments. But one of the things you can do with Prezi is you can take PowerPoint presentations and convert them into these kinds of presentations. So if you've already got PowerPoint and you want to try to use this, well, you can convert them. And this addresses what you were asking about. This is not mine. I stole it with the permission of Tom Barrett, who put it together. And what he did was gather, this is what people are doing. So somebody from Belgium talked about using Google Plus as a senior year class project. Let me find a good one here. Oh yeah, you could allow students to create their own circles and groups, and I think this is a little bit easier and more intuitive than groups that you set up. They could set up ad hoc groups. You know, if they're all together, they can pull out from Google Plus themselves. You can have them self-organized groups.
I mean, can we access this Prezi?
Yeah, I have a link to. Where is it?
Did you add it as a research?
Yes.
All of you received this one, by the way. Is this link with a first email?
This is a list, a DIGO list.
Yeah.
And what I've been doing over the since I found out I was doing this, it's a long, I hate the address there. I think I gave a shortened version of this. If you look at on the Today's Meet thing, there's a much shorter version of this. There, right here. It's a tiny URL. If you access http://tinyurl.com/tsonlinegpp+, it'll do the same thing. Maybe it's not any better than the other one, but what that'll do will take you to this right here. And of course, since this is something I'm interested in, all these links I'll keep adding. In fact, I had one here that just to lighten the mood before we eat something.